Carl, of course, the games are coming thick and fast at the minute with a midweek at Sutton tomorrow night and then a game at home at Solihull on Saturday. But just first off the back of last weekend, how is everyone sort of faring? How the boys been kind of looking since that game?
Yeah, no, everyone's recovered from the game really well. We've got no new injury worries. Was really pleased with the response, reviewing the performance and reflecting on the good things that came out the game. Like I said in my post-match interview, we were a lot more recognisable in terms of our in-possession stuff. A lot of work still needs to be done. It's been difficult because the games are coming thick and fast. So next week with the break, we can really start nailing down defensive aspects as well as the in-possession stuff. But yeah, we've got no new injury worries, and it was a positive performance to build on.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, you mentioned on Saturday not having a huge amount of time to put the detail and things like that into place, but with training before Wednesday, you have had a bit of a helping hand with Simon Grayson and around the place. Of course, Joe's dad, but someone who's very experienced at higher levels in the football pyramid as well, to offer his input. Yeah,
of course. I'm a young manager, obviously, and I'm all ears. I want to absorb as much information as possible from experienced people like Simon. He's had a fantastic career as a manager. Whilst he's currently in between jobs, I thought it was a great opportunity to utilise him. The boys really respect him. It goes back to last season before the trophy final. He sent us a little video message. The boys loved that. I could see the body language in the room perk up. So from that point of view, he was really relatable to the boys, and he's been great. He's been up on pitch, delivering little nuggets of information, and then for me as well, for my development, listening to the way he approached his team talks and sort of day-to-day running when he was a manager has been gold dust. So yeah, for me, I think there's a saying that I like: the best coaches are the best thieves, and I always like to pick brains and get information and how other people work. So it's been a great opportunity to do that.
Sutton, of course, coming up first this week tomorrow. I mean, it's a lengthy midweek trip, I suppose, as they all are whenever we have a midweek game, but extra long it feels like this time. But how are you looking ahead to that and the challenge that's going to present for you?
Yeah, long midweek journey. Like you say, it generally is for us, but this is particularly a long one. But we're going to approach it, really professionally. We're going to get the train down, so the travel's not as arduous as it could be with the bus. So the boys will get the best preparation as possible. Tough opponent, really difficult place to go. They've had some good results at home over the course of the season. I know Altrincham went there early in the season and got beat 5-0. So I think they will test an area of our game that people consider from the outside in as a weakness. But when I came in through the door, one of the messages are we're not a nice team, and this is a great opportunity to show against a physical side who will stick it on you from set pieces and in general play, that we can stand up to that test. I want to see real aggression and intent with our play and a willingness to do the ugly side of the game. But also a team that'll expose you with the ball as well if you're not bang on it. So it's going to be a great test, and it's going to show me characteristics in the team that I've really wanted to see.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned there in terms of it maybe testing a side of yours that from outside looking in, people would, as you say, target as potentially a weakness. Does it feel like that's something you have to prove within yourselves, or almost to get the lads to prove to themselves that isn't a weakness? Or is it, I suppose outside noise has always been something you've tried to kind of ignore and that type of thing?
Yeah, no, I mean, it could be an outside perspective, but it's also what I demand of them. It doesn't matter if we were a team that were more direct and we relied on that side of our game. I would still demand that all aspects of our game we do it to the very best. The point is, we're a ball dominant side and we like to have possession, so in the moments where we have to defend, we have to be really aggressive and do that right, and Sutton will test us on that front.
A bit of good news on some of the longer term injury front, with Kenton having his, a double operation, I think, by the sounds of it, by the way he was talking recently. Obviously he's been out for a little while now, so good to see him making forward steps towards making a recovery at some point in the not too distant future, hopefully.
Yeah, it's positive that Kenton's had his surgery. Obviously for him now, you can see the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of getting back on pitch very quickly. I think it's a fairly quick turnaround that we're expecting from his surgery to getting out on the pitch. So that's obviously a real positive. The strength and depth is something that I've been really impressed by since I've came in, and he obviously just adds more to that. There's no doubt about that. Tinks was back on the grass today, which is again a massive positive. So yeah, we've got boys closer to coming back to fitness, that can only strengthen the side. It's about making sure the boys that are currently fit recover properly, and that we have, you know, a real difficult decision to make. It's not an easy part of being a manager, as I'm finding out, but yeah, it's you want those issues, you want those problems to have, and it just makes us such a better squad and a better team for it.